all the ideas from Daniel Goleman's book, Focus. Daniel Goleman's book, Focus, reveals how managing attention determines success in work, relationships, and life through internal, external, and empathetic focus. It's worth reading to master techniques for concentration, understanding others' emotions, and systemic thinking, which boost efficiency and leadership qualities. Practical, research-backed advice helps you cope with distractions and achieve your goals. Goleman, author of the bestseller Emotional Intelligence, wrote Focus in 2013, inspired by neuroscience and his work with leaders like the Dalai Lama. The book has been translated into 30 languages and gained popularity in Russia for its approach to attention as a skill. Interestingly, Goleman, a former journalist, used the metaphor of focus to simplify complex scientific concepts. Chapter 1. The Fine Art of Focus. Attention is a hidden power that determines success in work and life, but it's easily lost in a world of distractions. This chapter teaches that focus begins with fine-tuning into the present moment, whether it's a task or a conversation. Conscious attention allows for deeper understanding and more effective action. Train your mindfulness to stay in the moment. Practice breathing exercises or meditation for 5 minutes a day to keep your attention on a task. This helps avoid distractions and increases productivity. Focus on one task at a time, avoiding multitasking. Choose a key goal and work on it in silence, turning off notifications. This boosts concentration and work quality. For example, a student turned off his phone while studying and finished a project faster than usual. Another instance involved a manager who practiced mindfulness and became better at listening to colleagues, improving teamwork. Fine-tuning your focus is the foundation of success. By training mindfulness and avoiding distractions, you achieve more with less effort. Chapter 2. The Anatomy of Attention. Attention works through 3 systems: inner focus, outer focus, and empathy, each of which enhances success. This chapter teaches you to understand how the brain manages attention and to use these systems for better decision-making. A balance of these types of focus makes you effective in any field. Develop inner focus through self-reflection. Daily ask yourself questions like, what am I feeling? Or why did I decide that? To better understand your motivations, this helps make conscious decisions. Strengthen outer focus by observing your surroundings. Notice details such as colleagues' behavior or market changes to react faster. This makes you more attuned to opportunities. For example, a leader analyzed his emotions and became calmer during crises, which improved his decisions. Another instance involved a salesperson noticing trends in customer behavior and increasing sales by adapting their approach. Understanding the anatomy of attention is key to effectiveness. By balancing inner and outer focus, you become perceptive and decisive. Chapter 3. Self-awareness. The key to inner focus. Self-awareness is the ability to understand your emotions and reactions, which leads to better control and success. This chapter teaches you to develop inner focus through reflection and feedback to manage yourself. Awareness of your feelings helps you avoid impulsive decisions. Practice reflection by keeping an emotion journal. Record what causes stress or joy to understand your triggers and manage them better. This strengthens self-control and clarity. Seek feedback from loved ones or colleagues to see yourself from an outside perspective. Ask questions like, how do I come across in arguments? And use the answers for growth. This eliminates blind spots and improves behavior. For example, someone kept a journal and realized that the stress from meetings decreased after taking breathing breaks. Another instance involved an employee asking colleagues about his communication style and becoming more persuasive by correcting his bluntness. Self-awareness is the foundation of inner focus. Through reflection and feedback, you manage yourself and achieve more. Chapter 4. The Value of a Wandering Mind. A wandering mind, when thoughts flow freely, helps find creative solutions and strengthens focus. This chapter teaches you to use moments of daydreaming for insights, alternating them with concentration. Free-flowing thought opens new paths and reduces stress. Create time for your mind to wander, for example, walks without gadgets. Allow thoughts to flow freely to find unexpected solutions to problems. This stimulates creativity and restores energy. Alternate wandering with focus to balance rest and work. After 20 minutes of daydreaming, return to your task with a fresh perspective. This increases productivity and prevents burnout. For example, an engineer walked in the park and came up with a new product design, solving an old problem. Another instance involved a student daydreaming before an exam and remembering an important fact, improving her result. A wandering mind is a source of creativity. By using it wisely, you find solutions and conserve energy. Chapter 5, Understanding Yourself. A deep understanding of your values and motivations strengthens inner focus and success. This chapter teaches you to analyze your beliefs and goals to make decisions that align with your core self. Self-knowledge makes actions meaningful and effective. Reflect on your values, writing down what's important to you, such as family or growth. Compare decisions with these values so they are authentic. This helps avoid conflicts and increases confidence. Use meditation for deep self-knowledge. Practice 10 minutes a day to calm your mind and understand your true desires. This strengthens inner focus and clarity. For example, someone realized the value of health through reflection and started running, improving their well-being. Another instance involved a manager meditating and realizing they wanted to change careers, finding happiness in a new endeavor. Understanding yourself is the path to a meaningful life. By reflecting on values and meditating, you make decisions that lead to success. Chapter 6, The Blind Spot. Blind spots are hidden weaknesses that prevent us from seeing ourselves and others clearly, but they can be overcome through feedback. This chapter teaches you to recognize your biases and ask for honest feedback to improve self-awareness. Awareness of blind spots makes decisions more accurate and relationships stronger. Seek feedback from colleagues or friends to uncover your blind spots. Ask specific questions like, where could I improve in communication? And listen without making excuses. This helps identify weaknesses and grow. Use self-reflection exercises to understand your biases. Record your reactions to events and look for patterns that might distort perception. This strengthens objectivity and inner focus. For example, a manager asked his team to evaluate his management style and learned he seemed too abrupt, which improved his leadership. Another instance involved someone noticing through their journal that they ignored others' opinions and became better at listening. Blind spots hinder success, but they can be eliminated. Through feedback and reflection, you become more aware and effective. Chapter 7, The Power of Empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand the feelings of others, which strengthens relationships and success. This chapter teaches you to develop empathetic focus through active listening and observing emotions. Empathy helps build trust and resolve conflicts. Practice active listening to understand others. Focus on the speaker's words and emotions. Paraphrase them to show understanding. For example, you're feeling frustrated? This creates a connection and reduces misunderstanding. Notice nonverbal cues, such as gestures or tone of voice. Pay attention to body language during a conversation to pick up on hidden emotions. This makes you perceptive and strengthens relationships. For example, a leader noticed an employee's sadness from their posture and helped resolve the problem, which increased loyalty. Another instance involved a salesperson listening carefully to customers and increasing sales by understanding their needs. Empathy is a bridge to people. By developing active listening and perceptiveness, you build trust and achieve success. Chapter 8, Social Sensitivity. Social sensitivity is the ability to grasp group dynamics and emotions within a team. This chapter teaches you how to read social cues and adapt to improve interaction. Sensitivity to the group makes you effective in teamwork and leadership. Observe group dynamics by noticing who speaks and who remains silent. Ask questions like, does everyone agree, in meetings to involve everyone? This creates harmony and increases team productivity. Adapt your behavior to the group's mood. If the team is tense, use humor or a pause to relieve stress. This helps manage emotions and achieve goals. For example, a leader noticed an employee's silence in a meeting and engaged them with a question, which led to a valuable suggestion. Another instance involved a coach sensing team fatigue and calling a break, which improved the training. Social sensitivity is key to teamwork. By reading cues and adapting, you strengthen relationships and group success. Chapter 9, Patterns and Systems. Systemic thinking helps you see the big picture and find patterns in complex situations. This chapter teaches you to analyze systems, to make far-sighted decisions. Understanding interconnections makes you a strategist in work and life. Look for patterns in data and events to understand the system. For example, analyze how colleagues' actions affect a project to predict the outcome. This helps make informed decisions. Use a systemic approach to problem solving. Break down a task into parts, such as resources and processes, and find the weak link to improve. This increases efficiency and prevents errors. For example, a manager noticed a pattern of delays in projects and simplified processes, which sped up work. Another instance involved an analyst seeing a connection between sales and weather, which helped plan more accurately. Systemic thinking is looking at the whole. By analyzing patterns and interconnections, you make decisions that lead to success. Chapter 10, the SMART practice. SMART practice is purposeful work on skills, focusing on weak areas. This chapter teaches you to improve through conscious training and feedback. This type of practice accelerates growth and makes focus a tool for success. Practice skills with a focus on a specific goal. For example, work on one part of a presentation, such as the opening, to improve it. This makes training effective and targeted. Get feedback from experts or colleagues after practice. Record observations and adjust your approach to grow faster. This transforms effort into mastery. For example, an orator practiced only the concluding phrases of a speech and became more persuasive, according to feedback. Another instance involved a musician practicing a difficult chord with a teacher and improving their playing. SMART practice is the path to mastery. By focusing on weaknesses and using feedback, you reach the top. Chapter 11, FAR focus. FAR focus helps you see long-term consequences and global trends, making decisions strategic. This chapter teaches you to develop the ability to think ahead, analyzing future opportunities and risks. This approach allows you to anticipate changes and direct efforts toward big goals. Develop FAR focus by asking questions like, what will happen in 5 years? Analyze trends in your field, for example, changes in technology, to prepare for them. This helps make decisions that benefit the future. Use visualization for long-term goal planning. Imagine where you want to be in years and build a plan with concrete steps. This makes dreams achievable and sustains motivation. For example, an entrepreneur foresaw a rise in demand for eco-friendly products and restructured his business, which led to success. Another instance involved a student visualizing her career and choosing courses that led her to her desired job. FAR focus is a strategic perspective. By analyzing trends and visualizing goals, you create a path to sustainable success. Chapter 12, the leader's distance. Leaders with FAR focus inspire by seeing the big picture and guiding the team toward a goal. This chapter teaches you to combine strategic thinking with empathy to lead people effectively. Distance allows leaders to remain objective and motivate others. Maintain distance to see the situation clearly. Step back from current problems, for example, by pausing before decision to evaluate the consequences. This helps make thoughtful decisions without emotion. Inspire the team by connecting tasks to the overarching goal. Explain how their work affects the future to boost engagement. This creates unity and motivation for achieving goals. For example, a leader explained to the team how their project conserved resources, which increased their enthusiasm. Another instance involved a director pausing before reorganization and finding a better solution, avoiding conflict. A leader's distance is a balance of objectivity and inspiration. By maintaining clarity and motivating the team, you lead to success. Chapter 13, the leader and the triple focus. An effective leader combines inner, outer, and empathetic focus to manage themselves, their environment, and their team. This chapter teaches you to integrate these types of attention for decision-making and creating harmony. A triple focus makes leadership powerful and sustainable. Manage yourself through inner focus, being aware of your emotions. Practice reflection. For example, writing down what causes stress, to remain calm. This helps you make decisions without impulses. Combine outer focus and empathy to manage your team. Observe group dynamics and listen to its members to adapt your style. This builds trust and effectiveness. For example, a leader noticed tension in the team and held an open dialogue, which resolved the conflict. Another instance involved a manager analyzing the market and the team's emotions, which helped launch a successful product. Triple focus is the leader's strength. By balancing self-awareness, observation, and empathy, you create a team ready for success. Chapter 14. What makes a leader great? A great leader combines focus, empathy, and strategic vision to inspire and guide. This chapter teaches you to develop qualities like perceptiveness and clarity of purpose to lead a team to great results. A leader's greatness lies in the ability to unite people for a common goal. Develop perceptiveness through empathetic listening. Ask questions like, "What's bothering you?" and respond sincerely to build trust. This motivates the team to perform at their best. Create a clear vision to guide people. Formulate an inspiring goal, such as improving customers' lives, and share it regularly. This unites the team and gives meaning to their work. For example, a leader inspired his team with the goal of improving ecology, which led to a successful project. Another instance involved a leader listening to employees and adapting the plan, which increased their loyalty. A great leader is a guide. By combining perceptiveness and clear vision, you lead your team to outstanding results. Chapter 15. Cultivating attention. Attention is a skill that can be trained to improve success in life. This chapter teaches you to develop focus through mindfulness practices and continuous learning. Strengthening attention makes you more effective and resilient to distractions. Practice mindfulness daily to strengthen attention. Do breathing exercises or meditation for 10 minutes to focus on the moment. This increases concentration and reduces stress. Learn continuously to develop attention flexibility. Read books, take courses, or try new tasks to broaden your perspective. This makes focus adaptive and ready for challenges. For example, someone meditated daily and became better at multitasking at work. Another instance involved a student learning new skills and solving complex problems faster. Attention is a muscle that can be trained. Through mindfulness and learning, you become a master of focus and success. This is such a wonderful book. I've compiled a separate list of all the important theses from this book, along with all the techniques and tools, and created a step-by-step action plan that you can immediately implement in your life. You can get all this in my community, Place of Power. There, you will find a detailed text analysis with similar lists for each book being reviewed. The community has already thoroughly analyzed and made available to you hundreds of world bestsellers, with a new analysis released every day. Follow the link in the description and use it.